Kate Walker! Kate Walker!
Oscar, what's going on? Why has the train stopped? Where are we?
The springs of the train are unwound again, Kate Walker. As for the question pertaining to our geographical location, I really haven't the slightest idea.
Well, we'd better get looking for a winding machine, my dear Oscar. I hope that this place actually has one.
The air here is so polluted that I could not possibly risk leaving the locomotive. My joints might corrode irreparably.
Right. Let's see. Okay, let's try looking on the bright side here. I need to stretch my legs.
Is there something wrong, Kate Walker? Are you uncomfortable? Are the passenger facilities on this train substandard? I shall draw up a formal complaint form for you immediately.
No, Oscar, everything's fine, I assure you. A little walk will do me good, that's all. Gosh, it's really gloomy here. I wonder where on earth I'm going to find a winding machine.
I have total confidence in you, Kate Walker. You are, after all, a brave and resourceful woman.
Yeah, right. Oscar, you couldn't make a little effort for just this once. If we both went looking for the winding machine, the two of us together might find it quicker.
You are in all probability correct, Kate Walker. But the high level of heavy metal miasma that pollutes the atmosphere could cause havoc to my wheelwork.
Let's hope Hans Vorarlberg once lived here as well. Maybe he planned for his locomotive's unplanned stop and installed a winding machine as well. Otherwise, it's not looking great for the rest of the journey.
Do not forget that Hans Vorarlberg is a genius in the true sense of the word.
But is he a genius with a sense of forward planning?
We will find that out when we find the winding machine.
My God, Oscar, what would I do without you? We just keep stopping. When will we ever get to the end of this journey?
Simply wind up the spring and we can set off immediately.
From your mouth to God's ears. See you soon, Oscar.
I shall stay right here, Kate Walker.
You there! Oscar! Oscar, talk to me! Are you okay?
Why, it is absolutely inadmissible, intolerable, and indescribable. I have been attacked.
What do you mean you've been attacked?
My hands! I no longer have them! They have been stolen!
My God, you haven't got your hands! But who did this? What's going on here?
We can be sure of one thing, Kate Walker. That this heinous crime was committed by a barbarian. A dysfunctional individual whose behavior lacks all finesse.
Did you get a look at your attacker? Tell me exactly how it happened.
I was standing here polishing up my metalwork. I was just thinking that with all the dust in the air, it would be a good idea to...
Oscar!
I was very busy, and I suddenly felt two powerful arms grab me from behind and tie me up before I had the chance to defend myself. I wanted to call out, but my attacker gagged me before I could emit the slightest sound. Then he dismantled my hands with a terrifying pair of pliers. It was horrible.
I can believe it, my poor Oscar, but did you see him?
He was a real barbarian, I tell you. He had bloodshot eyes, steel teeth, and brown scaly skin, and he emitted foul odors. He was a monster, Kate Walker, a real monster, and he had a weapon.
Oscar, please calm down. Everything's going to be all right. Who the heck would be interested in automaton hands?
Even though I say so myself, my hands are two marvels of technology. Please promise to return them to me intact as quickly as possible. I am very attached to them, Kate Walker.
You were attached to them, Oscar, but like you said, I'm a brave and resourceful woman.
Thank you, Kate Walker. But please, above all, do be careful.
Don't you worry about that, Oscar. Right, Oscar. Let's go find this hand bandit. And this time, we're not going to be such a pushover.
Kate Walker, please do not think that this problem does not concern me. But if it's all the same to you, I would so much prefer to stay here, just to be on the safe side. An engineer never abandons his train, after all.
Yeah, sure. Another good reason not to lend a... not to help me out.
Kate Walker, even an automaton deserves a little compassion. I have just been savagely assaulted. Oh, I can feel one of my spasms coming on. I am on the verge of a clockwork breakdown. And all you do is accuse me of being selfish.
Okay, take a rest, Oscar. You're not much use without your hands anyway. Anything else you remember, Oscar?
I have told you everything, and I'd rather not think about it anymore.
How old do you think your attacker was?
How old? Such monsters are ageless. I tell you, my wheelwork froze with fear.
I think he must have been an older man. Someone with a soft spot for automatons. An expert who knows how to dismantle a pair of hands with a pair of pliers.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow you.
And what if it was Hans Vorarlberg himself?
Kate Walker, in spite of the respect in which I hold you, permit me to say that such an idea is stupid. Hans Vorarlberg, My attacker! A father would never attack his offspring! Get a grip on yourself! I should point out in all modesty that my attacker must have had muscles to overcome an automaton of my build.
Maybe you're right there, Oscar. I do apologize. Do you know if your attacker stole anything else?
As soon as he'd swiped my hands, he ran away.
Well, at least that's one good piece of news. The train's still intact.
What do you mean, intact? I am the train engineer. It was designed for me, and I for it. By maiming me in this brutal manner, the barbarian has also mutilated our locomotive. Without me and my hands, we're never going anywhere.
Sure, okay. Could you maybe tell me how the train works, then?
That is strictly forbidden, Kate Walker. There is only one engineer, and that train engineer is me. I am sure you don't have a license or authorization or even a deputy engineer's permit.
Do you really think it's the right moment to get wrapped up in red tape, Oscar?
Regulations are regulations, Kate Walker.
Right. I'm done. Take care of yourself, Oscar.
Good luck, Kate Walker. And don't forget me.
My dear brother, what joy to have news of you after your long silence during the war years. So, you're working for the Russians now. I tell you, we've been hearing some worrying stories about them here. Just your description of that dingy factory makes me cough. But it's so good to hear that your talent is being recognized for its true value, and that your automaton creations are taking the place of workers for all those menial jobs. I'm so proud that Vorarlberg automatons are making such a contribution, even if it is small, to the improvement of people's lives.
Meanwhile, back in Valladolid, we've been licking our wounds after the war years. Some people have returned, others not. Life is slowly coming back, but it's taking time. All my love, Anna.
Hello? Hello?
Kate, it's Dan. Can you hear me?
Dan, is that you? I can't hear you so good. Dan!
Hey, stop. Conversation. Are you still mad at me? Come on, it's important.
Dan, you're breaking up. I'll try and call you when I get out of this mine.
Kate! Come on, what's happening? Listen, we've got to talk.
Look, the line's just getting worse and worse. I'm hanging up. I don't want to touch it, in case I break it. That looks like a ventilation duct. Hey, you! Who are you? Careful, I'm warning you. I'm not afraid of you, okay? What do you want? Why did you do that?
There must be some misunderstanding.
Because you reckon theft is all about misunderstanding, do you? Give me my hands back. Now!
Your hands? And what are those on the ends of your arms? I can explain everything to you. You see, I'm no thief.
You broke into my train, assaulted my driver, mutilated him, and stole his hands. Apart from that, you are not a thief.
I have not stolen them, miss. Only borrowed them for a while.
You've got to be joking.
I'm not joking with you, miss. I would never take such liberties.
They belong to Oscar, my automaton engineer. Why did you steal them?
They are extraordinary. Real mechanical wonders. I would never have been capable of designing such hands myself. Never. Such workmanship. Such precision crafting. It is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And just because you like them, you decided to steal them?
I have only borrowed them, little missy. Temporarily, you understand? Of course, I shall return them to you when I don't need them anymore. You can...
Excuse me?
You see, these hands are all I need to complete my plan. At last, I can finish off my automaton pianist and fulfill my dreams. Everything is now in place. You see, I have converted this old, useless, stupid factory into a magical theatre. As you can see, the furnaces, piping, chimney stacks, they've all been converted into one gigantic organ. I will be able to accompany the world's greatest living singer. Now all I need is her...
I'm sorry, I can't make heads or tails out of your story at all. Without my engineer's hands, I'm stuck here, you see?
Everything I have designed, all that I have invented, everything is for her. Do you realize? Her. Oh, to hear her sing one more time, here in my factory!
But who is she? Who are you talking about?
Helena. The one and only Helena Romansky. Her voice is so pure, like an angel. One day she came here to Komkolsgrad. She sang here, you know, when our industrial city was in its heyday. Oh, so long ago now. It was almost unreal. It was magical. I remember it like it was yesterday. Then, later, a long time later, she saved my soul. She saved my life and gave it meaning. When I was told that the mining program was to be abandoned, that this industrial city was consigned to oblivion, that I, its director, would from then on be nothing but a guardian of these rusting remains of a bygone age, that is when I first formed my plan to bring Helena Romansky back to this factory. But this time, she would sing for me, and me alone.
And is she okay about this?
Sure. Once she finds out that I have done all this for her, when she realizes how I converted this vast network of pipes and tubes to create one of the most impressive organs ever made, then, you know, this was no small achievement, miss. Once molten iron flowed through here. Now there wafts only beautiful melodies. But then I realized I had to make an automaton pianist. I began to despair that I would never create hands that were intricate enough. But then you arrived. So lucky, don't you think?
Yeah, that must have been a happy coincidence for someone around here. So, when will this Madame Romansky come back? When do I get my hands back?
I don't know. Maybe someone should look for her. Tell her. Hey, why don't you go? The quicker you bring her back, the sooner you can carry on your business trip. Now, isn't that a good idea?
And you promise that once Helena has sung, you will give me back my automaton's hands?
I promise, my dear. You have my solemn word.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to believe you. Where should I go hunting for this singer, then?
I have no idea. But for a woman of the world like yourself, finding her should pose no obstacle. Helena Romansky was a world celebrity, you know. I have collected many objects, souvenirs of her that I keep in a room. A shrine to her glory. It's like her own personal museum in a way. You should take a look.
This whole story is completely nuts. And what if I helped you to make some other hands just for your automaton?
Why should life be complicated when I already have what I need? And I very much doubt you are in any position to create such a perfect pair of hands.
You mentioned an automaton pianist, didn't you? Where did you find it?
I pieced it together myself, my dear. Except for the hands, that is. I admit that I underestimated the intricacy of this part of the design. A pianist's hands are very important, after all. But enough. Now he has a perfect set of hands.
Your passion amazes me. Have you designed any other automatons here?
No. Clockwork mechanisms do not interest me as such. I simply needed a robot capable of accompanying Helena Romansky on my huge organ. I adapted an existing model, a reject automaton secretary. I reconstructed it and adapted it to this new function.
An existing model, you say? Did you ever know Hans Vorarlberg? He was a kind of mechanical genius, like yourself.
Hans Vorarlberg? Yes. Or maybe... I don't know. No.
Sure, I understand. The number of automatons still functioning in this abandoned complex is amazing, though.
My dear, one thing is for sure. For many years, I have been totally alone here. If that man ever came to this city, he left long ago.
When you stepped on the train, you were trespassing on private property.
Everything in this city, sweet lady, belongs to the state. And to all intents and purposes, the state in this city is me.
My train is not a part of this factory. And besides, we never would have stopped here in the first place if its engine hadn't needed winding.
Well, as long as your train is at this station, it may be requisitioned and used for industrial purposes.
Out of the question. And I forbid you to do so.
Maybe I won't have to. Perhaps we can maybe come to some kind of agreement, my sweet lady.
I hope so. And fast. Please excuse me. I have to go now.
So be it.